Welcome to the Complete PHP Professional course. My name is Jazeb Akram and I'll be your instructor. Now, maybe you are thinking that why learning PHP is substantial when there are many new languages and frameworks out there. Then why shouldn't I choose them? Let me give you an answer to that. Many popular websites like Facebook, Wikipedia, and Yahoo adopted PHP to build their structure from the ground. Furthermore, if you visit websites like freelancer.com, upwork.com, and guru.com, you will be amazed to see that there are still highest number of clients who requires PHP developers. So now you know its importance, but you are confused where to start. Well, don't be, because in this course you will learn all about PHP from scratch. This course will teach you all the fundamentals and the building blocks of PHP, and you will complete your PHP skills by building projects. Now let's see what we are going to build at the end of this course. First, we will create complete content management system CMS Log, where you will also learn Bootstrap in case if you haven't worked on Bootstrap yet. In this project, we will create this CMS blog. You can see this blog post. This whole post is coming from the database. You can see the image, the title, the category of this post, and the date and time of this post, and also the number of comments on this post. You can see the one right here. The user can also click on this read more button to read the full post. On this blog page, there are total 3 posts, and right at the end you can see the pagination. You can click on any of the link to go to the specific page. So if I click on this third page, this is the third page of our blog. Same design here as well, and we have selected the 3 here. You can click on the forward button to move forward, and also you can click on the backward button to go back. So if we reach to our last page of 8th one, you can see we don't have the forward button anymore here because we are on the last page of this blog. So now if I click on the first page, and now let me show you this full post of cool laptop in history. Clicking on the read more button, here is this full post. You can see the category, date and time, and then you can see the information about this post. This post got HTML and CSS inside the content of this post, and all the information which you are seeing right now is coming from the database. This image is also coming from the database. Then you can see we got a couple of more style, then we got the image, and then we got the couple of more design as well. And right here you can see the comment on this post. You can also add new comment on this post as well. The submitted comment will appear here after the admin approval. For example, first let me show you the admin panel. This will be our login page. You can see the attractive icon on this page as well. So I'm gonna log in from my account of Elizabeth Doy with the password. So this will be the admin panel. You can see the post title right here, then the date and time, then you can also see the name of the author who added that post, then the category and the banner of this post. And here on this comment section you can see this one got one green box. So the green box means this post got total 1 approved comment from the admin. You can also edit this post and delete this post. You can click on the live preview to see the post. So here is this post, and you can see that this post got 1 comment. That's why we got the 1 green box right here. Now this red box means that this post got total 2 unapproved comments. This one got 1 unapproved comments, and if I scroll down you can see that these posts won't have any approved or unapproved comment from the admin. And if you add these unapproved red comments 2 plus 1, you can also see the comments tab right here, and this is showing the admin that there are total 3 unapproved comments on the comment section. So first, now let's add the comment on this post of cool laptop in history. So clicking on the live preview, I'm gonna add the comment on this post, so giving name, email, nice post. So the name is Amir here, so submit this comment. I got the message comment submitted successfully. And if I refresh this page, you have to notice here, now you can see we got the one red pop-up here. It means that this post got one unapproved comments. And if I refresh this page, still you cannot see the comment which you just added until the admin approval. And also you can see that the total notification is changed from 3 to 4 because now we got total 4 unapproved comments. So now let me show you the comments tab. This will be the comment tab. You can see the unapproved comment section and also the approved comment section. The admin can approve the comment, delete the comment, click on the live preview to see the post where the user added the comment. So now let's approve this comment. You can see the message right here, comment approved successfully. And if I can show you in the approved comment section that this was the comment added by the Amir, and also you can see the admin name who just approved this comment. The admin can also click on the disapprove tab to revert approval process and also delete the approved comment as well. So now we approve this comment. So if I refresh this page, you can see the comment of Amir is appearing right here. And if I show you the blog page where we got this post, now you can see that this post got total 2 comments. So if I scroll down, you can see that this post got total 6 comments. So if I click on the read more button, you can see the total 6 comments here on this post. Now let me show you the other tabs of our CMS. Then we got this add new post tab where admin can add the new post. Then we got the categories tab in which you can add some new category here as well. So if I add new category of nothing here, add new category added successfully, and here is the category name and the admin name who just created the category. Now in the admin tab, the admin can also add new admin and also delete admin as well, and we can also track down that which admin is added by who. Now on this live blog, you can click on the live blog to see the blog public page, and you can also click on the logout to log out. So now if I logged out, I'm on my login page. Now if I try to get into our dashboard, you can see I got this error message that login required. So now if I give it information from my other account of John and giving my password, you can see that the welcome message right here, welcome John. And if I click on the comment tab and approve this long comment by Jenny Mile, approving this comment, you can see that this comment is appearing in the approved section now, and this comment is approved by our admin of John. I can also click on the disapprove button to move it back. In the unapproved comment section, you can see the comment disapproved successfully. Now on our blog page on the right side, you can see the categories section. By clicking, you can browse some specific category. So if I click on this CSS category, you can see we browsed all the posts where the category is CSS, and this post also got the category of CSS. So if I click on the news category, you can see these posts got the category of news here as well, and also this post got the category of news, date and time, and the same design here as well. So now if I click on the category of nothing which we just added, you can see we got no post here because we just added this category. We didn't add any post according to this category. So right after this category section, you can see the recent post. This section will show the latest post added by the admin, and also I can click on any of the posts to view the full post. So if I click on this one, PHP new version, this is the post right here, and you can also add the comment on this post as well. So adding the comment here, submit this comment, comment submitted successfully. And if I go to my dashboard page, you can see that this post got one red comment, and also you can see the total number of unapproved comments updated here as well. Now clicking on the comment tab, I can click on the approve button to approve this comment. This comment approved successfully and approved by John. Now if I click on the live preview, you can see the full post and the comment which just approved by the admin. And right on the top you can also see the search tab, in which the user can also search something here. And the search result of user search appear in the main area of our blog. We searched for machine and you can see the machine right here. Now about this blog, our blog will be completely responsive. You can see the responsiveness of our blog. Everything that is showing right here is completely responsive. And also you can click on the toggle menu to see the information of some other tab as well. So this will be our CMS which we are going to create in this course. And the bonus in this course, we will create this whole blog with Bootstrap. So in case if you don't know anything about Bootstrap, this course is ideal for you, because we are going to create this blog and admin panel from scratch without using any type of Bootstrap template. We will build this complete project from scratch. Then we will create directory application. For example, I can go to all the pages of my website, home, about, contact page, or share with a friend page without any problem. But in case if we want to go into some private pages like password, you can see we are having this directory handler, because we are not allowed to get into this page. So if I go to the page of forum, still getting this directory handler. So if I go to our contact page, you can see the contact page. I can go again in the home page, no problem at all. And if I go in our admin panel page, you can see we are getting this directory handler. Then we will create a complete contact form in PHP, in which we will build this contact form. So if I try to submit this form, you can see we got a couple of errors. So if I give it my name of Jazeb 99, my email address, gender, website and message, and if I try to submit, my name is Jazeb 99 here, you can see I got the error, only letters and white spaces are allowed. So if I give it my name of Jazeb and email to be jazebakram and @gmail.com, submit this form, you can see I got the error of invalid email format, because we cannot add special character sign in our email. And if I give it website of wrong one, like https 2 / are missing here, submit this form, you can see I got the error invalid website address format. So these validation will be impossible to break, and we will build this complete application from scratch. Now if I give my name of Jazeb Akram, email to be jazebakram@gmail.com, mail, website to be facebook.com, pasting some random message, submit this form, it's processing. I got the message, Jazeb Akram, your message submitted successfully. And if I can show you real quick on my Gmail account, you can see I got this email. That name of Jazeb Akram email was jazebakram@gmail.com, mail, website and the message here. So this will be our contact form project. After that, we will work on one of the essential skills of today's world, regular expressions. So you don't have to search for some other courses to learn about regular expressions. And finally, the last project of this course, in which we will create this PHP application where the admin can add new employee records, name, social security number, department, salary and home address. And also he can see the records, delete some specific one, and also update any record on the fly. And admin can also search some specific employee by giving employee name or social security number. So in case if I give this social security number here, search this record, you can see I got the record of AlexMyu, and this was the social security number which we searched for. We will build this application by using HTML, CSS, PHP and MySQL from scratch. In this course you will have all the coding exercises, and I will show you each and everything in complete details. So what you are waiting for? I will see you inside this course. Now in case if you are a complete beginner, I think it would be great if you know the basic requirements before writing PHP code. And there is no rocket science about the requirements. You don't have to go to Mars. Requirements are very simple and easy. So for writing PHP we need first one server. And the server which I'm gonna use will be Apache server. Actually the server is a place where we are going to look for the output of our PHP code. As we are going to install it and work on it locally, we are not going to use some online server. So we will install the server, Apache server, locally on our computer, and you can browse your PHP files through your web browsers like Firefox and Chrome. Then after installing web server, we need to install the PHP. And as we are going to use the XAMPP server where we will have the Apache server, so our PHP will be installed on the XAMPP server as well. The at least requirement in this course will be installing the PHP version of 5.6. As for now, the PHP 7.1 version is out. You can use the latest version, but we will be using the PHP version 5.6 at least. Thereafter we need a database, and the database we are going to use will be MySQL, and the database will be come with our XAMPP server. So by using database we can easily create, read, update and delete things in and out by using PHP. Then after installing database we need some text editor by which we can write the PHP code. I'm gonna use Notepad++ or Komodo IDE 8 or higher. You can use any of the editor which you want. And for seeing the output of our PHP code we need web browser like Firefox, Chrome or Safari like that. Now the first 3 points, web server, PHP and database, we can grab this whole package in one unit by installing the XAMPP server. You can use WAMP server, LAMP server, but XAMPP server is very easy to use, and it also offers you PHP MyAdmin where you can easily manage your database, and it's also supported with all the operating system. You can use it on Windows, Macintosh and Linux as well. And on top of everything, it's very easy to use, and I'm gonna show you how you can install and configure XAMPP server in our next lecture. Now you know the basic requirements in this course. Now in the next lecture we are going to install our XAMPP server to fill out our 3 requirements of web server, PHP and database. Then we will install our editor as well. So see you in the next lecture. If you need any assistance while installing PHP, you can simply visit PHP website, php.net/manual. You can choose English version, install.php, and you can see your system specification, and if there any kind of problem you can solve it on a fly. As we will be working locally on our computer, so we will not have the online server, but for working with PHP we need a web server. So thanks to XAMPP server we can install the web server locally on our computer, and then we can run the PHP on the XAMPP server. So just search on the Google with XAMPP, and on the first link just click on the first link. Now one of the great thing about XAMPP is XAMPP have everything which you need to work with PHP. It has Apache server for running the PHP. It also have PHP MyAdmin which you can use later to work with MySQL, means database. And also one of the great thing about XAMPP server is they have 3 versions according to your operating system. They have Windows version, they have Linux version, and also the Macintosh version for the Apple computers. So you can pick any of the version from these links. So I have Windows, so I'm gonna click on the XAMPP for Windows. Now start the download process. Now after downloading this product, you have to install this product manually. As I have already installed the XAMPP server, so after installing this product, you will have this icon of XAMPP control panel. Just click on this icon. Now this is our XAMPP control panel. You will find the latest version of XAMPP with the 5.6. You can choose whatever version you want. You can choose the latest version, but I have the older version with the PHP of 5.6 installed. So I'm gonna use this version. So for starting the server, just click on the Apache module to start and action to start. And if you want to run the database, then you should click on the MySQL. So we will be using the XAMPP server throughout this course. Now after installing, if you want to see that which PHP version that you installed, then first of all just click on the start button of the Apache server. Then you have to locate the directory root of this XAMPP server. So go to in the computer, in C drive, inside the XAMPP folder, inside the folder of htdocs, this folder will be your root. So create one text file here, and I'm gonna call this file to test.php. Now inside this file, we are going to run one PHP function. And first of all, we need to define the PHP scope. Then the PHP function which we will be using will be PHP info, and now semicolon at the end. If you save this file and click on the admin of your XAMPP server, now here you can see we got the test.php file after localhost. So clicking on the test.php file, now on this page, by using this function of PHP info, you can see that we have installed the PHP version of 5.6.3 with the XAMPP server which I have installed in my computer. So in case if you are going to install new version, you will have the latest version of PHP, and the latest version is 7 point something. So as this version is compatible with my computer and completely compatible with this course, so I'll be using this version. You can use the latest version. It's not going to make any difference with the latest version. You won't have any problem. So it's up to you if you want to use this version or the latest version. For writing code in HTML, CSS, PHP, or in any web programming language, you need editor. And there are plenty of editors out there on the internet which you can use to write very flexible code. Actually, it doesn't matter which type of editor you use. What matters is how much committed you are to write the code. So you can use any type of editor to write the code. Even you can use the simple notepad in your computer. So here I have opened couple of editors which you can use to write the code. So first one is Notepad++. It's free to use. You can download it on the official website of Notepad. And here you can see the download button. Click on the download button. Now click on this download button. Start the download process. Now after downloading, just click on the downloaded file and install it. Select your language if you are installing the Notepad++. Next, agree their terms. Next, install. And now your software has been installing. Now click on the finish. Now finally, here is your Notepad++ for writing code. So in case if you want to see some other editor, I have been using Notepad++ and Komodo Active State for a long time. In all of my courses, you can download the Active State Komodo by the official website of activestate.com. It's one of the best editor. You can use this editor as well. Click on the download button if you want to use the Komodo IDE, and then you can choose the Windows or Macintosh Linux version according to your operating system. As I have already installed this editor in my computer, so I'm not going to download it. So it's completely up to you which editor you want to use in this course. You can use the free one Notepad++, or you can use the Komodo. They will give you 21-day trial to see their products. And some of the time students ask me that they are using Macintosh and they want to explore the variety in the Macintosh editors. So here is one more editor of Sublime. You can also use this Sublime editor from the website of sublimetext.com. We have this editor of brackets.io website where you can download this editor of brackets. It's also one of the popular editor. You can use the Code Lobster editor from the codelobster.com website as well. So these are the couple of suggestions for me, and for in this course we will be using the Notepad++ with Komodo IDE, and you can use any of the editor which you want. It's completely up to you. So let's dig into this course. Now we have to work with our XAMPP server. So let's go into our start menu and type XAMPP here. Now we have our XAMPP control panel right here. We need to start our Apache server and MySQL server as well. Now the next part will be we have to locate our folder where we can easily access our files, and that folder will be in our C drive, in our XAMPP folder, and inside the XAMPP folder you can see we have this folder of htdocs where our files will going to be. Now before doing anything, let's go back to our Google Chrome and let's see our local host first. See, we don't have anything in our local host right now because we are not accessing any kind of file right at the moment. So move back to our htdocs folder, and now I'm going to create one PHP file here with the name of index.php. Now let's open it in Notepad++. Now here we don't have anything right now. So if you want to write any PHP code, you need to define PHP code scope, and that need first this angle bracket, then question mark, then you have to write keyword PHP, and also you have to close this PHP tag by putting question mark and then this angle bracket. Now we made our PHP file successfully. We don't have anything right now in this PHP file. So anything we are going to write from line 2 to line 7 will be as PHP code. So before writing anything, let's save this one out. Move back to Google Chrome. Let's browse our local host, and in here in the folder of htdocs we have created this file of index.php. Means this whole C XAMPP htdocs will be our local host, and this index.php file will be this file. So we have to write localhost for this one in our browser. We already wrote it, localhost, and now we have to access our index.php file that is inside our htdocs folder. So we have to write here index.php. See, now nothing is on the screen because we haven't put anything in our index.php file. Let's for now write one simple PHP info function that will indicate us whether our PHP is working fine or not. Let's save this one out. Now hit back, enter key again. Now you can see by calling this PHP info function we successfully have the information of PHP. It means that our local host is working perfect. our PHP is working also very fine. And one more thing before moving forward, if you don't write anything after localhost, then our localhost will pick up the index file. It means that if you don't write or if you don't give path to index file, then your server will going to understand your main file, means your index file, automatically. So if I enter localhost without writing index.php file, then you will see that my php info function is calling right here. See, now here I have one more index file, and that is HTML file, not PHP file. So if I open it up in our Notepad++, we don't have anything right now. So if I add one PHP tag right in this file, and inside our PHP tag I add PHP info function, the same one which we saw earlier. Let's save this one out. Moving back to Chrome, now let's access our new file of index.html. Now you see there is nothing on the screen, even though we wrote PHP info function in our index.html file, but there is nothing in our browser. It's just because the file is HTML. It's not PHP file. So if I add one heading or just a simple text, my name is Jazeb Akram right here, then you will see by refreshing this page that this text is appearing right here, but not the PHP info function, just because this is not a PHP file, it's HTML file. So how can we write PHP into our HTML file? Now that's the question. Let's solve this one out. So now we want to embed our PHP with our HTML. So for that we have to create one new file of name example.php right here. Let's open this file in Notepad. Now for embedding PHP in our HTML file, first, I know you are all familiar with the basic structure of HTML document. We have body, and inside that we have one simple h1 tag. There is nothing in this file. So let's first define our PHP tag right here. We don't have anything right now. Now let's call this heading my bio. Let's save this one out. Let's go to our browser, localhost, and our file that we just created name is example.php. See, we have this simple h1 my bio right here. If you want to add anything here, you can simply do it. I can write my name is Jazeb Akram. Let's save this one out. Refreshing the page. See, now we have the error on line 9 because we are not writing any HTML. From line 8 to line 13, this file code will be PHP, not the simple text or any kind of HTML. So we have to keep in mind that line 8 to line 13, our code will be PHP, not HTML. So if we want to comment this code, we just have to add these two slashes and our code will be skipped from here. Now let's save this one out. Refreshing the page. See, now we don't have any error because we commented. So if you want to add any non-essential details in your file, you can do it in PHP by just putting two slash sign before your line. And if you have some code like this, now this one is also not valid in PHP, I know, but if you want to add it on some basis and you want to hide it from the user, you can do that by adding multi-line comment. So how we can add multi-line comment in PHP? We just have to write one slash, then static sign, and then we have to close this multi-line comment by static and slash. Now you will see that this commenting functionality will give us an edge to hide and avoid errors in our browser. Let's save this one out. See, there is nothing on the screen, there is no error. But if we delete this multi-line comment from here, then this code will be visible to user and our browser, our PHP will consider it invalid and give us error. Let's save this one out. See, now we have error on line 11. So this is the way you can add single line comment and multi-line comment in your PHP. Now, what if you have to show something to the user using PHP? You can do that easily by using echo command. You can say echo my name is Jazeb and you have to put semicolon at the end. Let's save this one out, refreshing the page. See, now we successfully echo my name is Jazeb in our PHP code. You can also add many PHP tags in your single document like this one. You can add many echo commands right here. You can say who is Ali. These are just for practice. You can add many PHP scopes right here. You can say what his age, and also you can echo the simple numbers as well. You can say echo 5 plus 9 plus 6. Let's save this one out. Now we have 4 echo statements. My name is Jazeb, who is Ali, what his age, and then we have the simple addition. Let's save this one out. See in browser. See, now we have all the output right here. So if you want to put your every output in another line, you can just use br tag of HTML. You can use br tag right here. You can use br tag right here, right here. Let's save this one out. See, now everything is in order. So this is the way you can add PHP with HTML, and also you can add single line comment and multi-line comment in your PHP code. In this lecture, we are going to learn about variables. Variables are most important in every single programming languages. They are used to store information and data, and their values are not certain. They can change the value at any time when the user wants. But there are some core rules for variables in PHP. The first one will be in PHP, a variable name will be start with the dollar sign. So if you want to have a variable name, then you must have to put dollar symbol at the beginning. Next rule will be you are not allowed to add dashes at the beginning. However, you can add dashes in the middle of variable, like we have this variable of my name in which we put our dash, and that's okay. Same with the underscore sign. You can add underscore in between the variable name. You can choose upper and lower letters in your variable names. You can also add numbers in your variable name. But remember, you cannot put numbers at the beginning of your variable. And one more thing, variables are case sensitive, means a name in lower form will not be equal to name in upper form. You cannot add space in variable name like NAM space E. This will not be variable and it will give you an error. And as I told you earlier, you cannot add numbers, underscore and dashes at the beginning of the variable. So variables are very handy to store information when you have to change the information time to time. Now let's look into a more sophisticated coding form in our text editor. Now here I am in my htdocs folder. Let's create one more folder with the name of PHP course, and the files that we have created earlier, example.php, index.html and also index.php. I'm going to cut it from here and paste it in our PHP course folder. Now we have first our local host, then we have our PHP course folder, then we have our files right here. Now let's copy this example.php file from here and paste it right here, and I'm changing its name to variables. Now let's open this file in our notepad. So we have this file that we made earlier. Let's remove these unnecessary thing from here. We don't need these PHP tags as well. And in here, in this PHP tag, we are going to add some variable right here. So as I told you in our presentation that before adding any variable, you have to add dollar symbol. So I'm going to create a variable of name, and I'm going to give it some value, and you can add any kind of information in your variable. You can add digits, you can add text, anything you want. So I'm going to give it some text, name Jazeb, and on next line I'm just going to echo our name variable. Now let's save this one out. Let's go back to our browser. Inside our localhost, we have created this new folder of PHP course, in which we have this new file of variables.php. See, now we have Jazeb right here. So if we add one more variable right here with age, and I'm going to give it value of 22, and on next line if I just echo this one out, I can do that this new variable of age. But before doing that, let's put br tag right here. Let's save this one out. Now see it in browser. See, now we have this error on line 11. It's just because if you want to add br tag, then you have to echo it in one echo statement like this. Let's save this one out. See it in browser. See, now we successfully put our second variable of age on the next line without having error. You can do many things with the variables, like you can add one variable of a, and you can give it some value of, you can say 3, one more variable of b with the value of 6. You can also add them, subtract them, whatever you want. So I'm going to add one more variable of c, and I'm going to equal this new variable with our earlier variable of a plus b. So this c will have value of what? Yeah, right, 9. So I'm just going to echo our this new variable of c. Before seeing its output, let's copy this echo br from here so that we can see it on next line. Paste it right here. Let's save this one out and see it in browser now. See, now we have our 9 right here. So variable is very handy way you can store your information. This is very just a basic intro to our variables. We are going to play with variables in very deep. So stay in touch. We have seen variables. Variables are those whose values are changeable, and the user can change their values at any time he wants. So constants are just opposite to variables. Their value stays at the same throughout your code. They are not going to change. So you can think of constant as a value of gravity, that is 9.8, or maybe value of pi, surely pi, because its value is 3.14 and it's not changeable. So in this lecture we are going to learn about constants in PHP. So first let's add one PHP scope right here. Now the traditional method of declaring variable was using $, and we can have name of our variable. We can say it as name, and then we put some value according to our variable. We can add some string or maybe character or maybe numeric value as well. So I can give it name value of 45, and but constants are bit changed. We don't have to use $symbol with constants. They are hell of opposite to our variables. So for example, if we have to define the value for pi, first of all we have to mention this keyword of define. That's going to tell PHP that we are declaring our constant. So in define we have these parentheses, and inside these parentheses we will have two arguments. First argument is going to be the constant name, and it going to be enclosed in the quotation. So in this case, if I have this constant of value of pi, then in the first scope I have defined the name for our constant. Now I have to give it some value. I have to separate it with value by using this comma. Now I have to mention the value for our pi. You can add any kind of value. You can give it 456, 456. You can give it some value like 0, 1, 2, 3. But let's be realistic. Let's give it its actual value, and that is 3.14. So I have defined this value of pi. I can also define value for gravity. So if I copy this one out and paste it right after it, and I'm gonna change it for gravity, and now let's change its value to 9.8. Now if I echo this this value of pi, then I just have to say echo and value of pi, and echo value of gravity. Now let's concatenate it with simple text so that we can see it properly. Okay, so we concatenate it with our original constants. Now let's save this, and we have this file of constants.php. See, now we have pi value 3.14, and then we have g value, means gravity value of 9.8. Now as I said before, you cannot change the value of your constant. So if you try to do that, then you will have error. So if I add here value of pi is equal to value of pi plus, and if I echo this statement out, then you will see error. Let's add HR here for having the line. Let's save this. See, now we have error on line 19, just because we cannot redefine, or maybe we cannot change the value of our original constant. So if I try something more foolish, and if I try to redefine this value of pi, now let's comment this one from here. So if I say that let's copy this one out from here. If I say value of pi is equal to 1000, and right after it, if I just echo this statement, now let's see it in browser. So I have tried on line 21 to redefine the value of pi and make it 2000, but it's not going to change. Let's save this and see it in browser. See, now we have these two values which are for line number 13 and 14, And then we have error for line number 22 because we tried to redefine our value of pi and it's not possible. So you cannot change the value of pi. You can simply use it with other variables. You can use it in multiplication and some mathematical operation, but you cannot redefine it and add something in it. So keep this thing in mind while defining your constants. See you in next lecture. So like variables, strings are also very important. Anything that come in double quotation or single quotation treated as string. Strings are just combination of characters. So any phrase, any text that is in character form will be treated as string. It's very easy to make string, like we can make it on a fly. So I can say my name is Jazeb Akram. So this is our string because this is just simple text in double quotation. Let's put br tag right here. And if I add one more string in single quotation, it will be also string as well. So I can say my age is 14. Let's save this one out and see it in browser now. Localhost in our PHP course folder, and we have this file of strings.php. See, my name is Jazeb Akram and my age is 14. Now, there is one difference between double quotation and single quotation that we are going to look in couple of minutes. In the last lecture, we already did some work of string with the variables. Like you can add one variable of color right here, and you can give it some string value. I can say color of red, and you can also add one more variable of shirt here, and you can give it value of sleeveless. So these one are also string but with variables. So we have one more variable of combination in which we are going to connect our shirt with our color. You can simply say that combination is equal to color. So if you want to connect your color with your shirt, you can concatenate it, means combine it by using this dot sign. So here I'm just gonna use this dot sign to concatenate our color with our shirt, and after that I'm just going to add one more string, one empty string, because I told you earlier that anything come in double quotation or single quotation will be a string. So if anything that come in double quotation but there is nothing in the double quotation, it means that it's also a string but it's an empty string. So I'm going to connect our color with our variable of shirt here, and if I echo this one out, this our combination variable, then you will see that in the output our color will be concatenate with our shirt. Let's save this one out and see it in our browser. This is error on line 14. Why? Because we didn't add semicolon right here. So whenever you do some programming, you have to be more careful with these semicolon because they do some real damage sometimes. So let's save this one out, refreshing the page. Now you see we successfully concatenate our variable of color with our variable of shirt, and we saved it in our new variable of combination. So this way you can work with your variables, strings, and concatenation. You can concatenate any of the variables. And one more thing in this lecture will be, before moving to our strings function, the difference between single quotation and double quotation. I'm just going to write one echo right here, and in these double quotation I'm going to call our variable of simply color $color, and our color was red using the br tag here. And if I do the same thing with one echo of single quote, then you will feel the difference. But before doing that, let's cut this one out from here. Let's save this one out, refreshing the page. See, now we have our red right here. Now echo with one quotation. Inside that we have our dollar symbol. Let's save this one out. See, now we are not having the actual color. It's just returning us dollar color as a text, not a variable. But in double quotation, when we write dollar color, it returned us the actual color that was red. But in single quotation, it will confuse and treat our color variable as a text. So that's why you should most of the time use double quotation. And one more thing, you can also add some text right after your variable, like I can say color is my favorite, and let's remove this one out from here. But before doing that, let's just comment it. Let's save this one out. Now I have this variable, then I have this simple text in our double quotation, mean we have this simple string. Save this one out. See, red is my favorite. Now let's copy whole this one out from here and paste it right after it. And if you combine your variable with your text, then you will see that it's going to treat our variable of color with our text, means there will be no red color in our last line. Now let's save this one out, and if we refresh our page, see, now we have error on line 18 because we mixed up our string with our variable. So if you want to add your variable with your string, then you can also use these curly braces around your variable that will differentiate your variable with your text. Let's save this one out and see now. See, now we have this third red is my favorite without having any error. Now we have already seen concatenation, how you can connect two strings by using dot. Now in this lecture I'm going to show you one more way by using variables to connect your strings. So first let's define one PHP scope right here, and inside it I'm gonna add two variables with strings. So I give it some value of student who come late in phrase 1 and in class sit in last with draw. Now I'm going to add one more variable of combine, and now I'm going to give combine a value of phrase 1 by just simply equaling it with our phrase 1. That will gonna put the value of phrase 1 into combine. The simple equal sign is for assignment. Now I have put my value of phrase 1 into combine, and on the next line I'm just going to concatenate the value of phrase 2 with our combine variable by using dot equal sign and dollar phrase 2. So what I did here, I first put the value of phrase 1 into combine, and then I'm adding one more value of phrase 2 into combine. On the next line, I'm just going to echo one simple statement of original full string is this new string in the combine variable. Let's put br tag here. Let's save this one out. Let's see it in browser. Now on our echo statement, we will have whole phrase 1 and phrase 2 in one line in the combine variable. Let's save this one out, see it in browser, refreshing strings.php file. See, now our original full string is student who come late in class sit in last with rock. So this is the way you can also combine your strings by using variable. Now more things in this lecture will be strings function. Now by using string function, you can easily convert your string first lower letter into uppercase letter and first word of every your string in uppercase letter as well. But before doing that, let's add one line by using a char tag right here. Now let's indent it. Now on line 14 we have this simple function of strings in which we have one echo statement UC first. UC first will going to pick our combined string that we created right here on line 12, and it's going to convert the first letter of that string into uppercase, mean this student letter will be in uppercase, this S will be in uppercase. And on line 15, by using UCWord function of string, the whole string first letter will be in uppercase, means this student will have uppercase S, this who has uppercase W, this come has uppercase C, and so on. Then on line 16, we will convert our string into lowercase, which we have made in uppercase on line 15, and similarly on line 17, we are going to convert it in uppercase again by using str to uppercase combine. It's just a string function. If you want to convert any string into uppercase, lowercase, you can simply just do that by using strings function. So let's save this one out and see it in browser now. See, now we have first letter of student in uppercase and there is no effect on the rest of the string. And on next function, we have first letter greater of S, who is greater, C is greater of come, late is greater with L, and so on. And on lowercase, we have this whole string in lowercase, and then we have created our whole string in uppercase. Now more function of strings from line 19. You can also repeat your string 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, as many as you want. Let's repeat it for 3 times. The function is str underscore repeat. Then you have to pass your string variable name, and that is combine. Then you have to pass the parameter of how many times you want your strings to be repeat. And on line 20, by using sub str, you can show the certain words of any string. So in here, I am showing from letter length 5 to letter length 10 of this combined string. And on line 21, by using strpos function of string, you can find position of any specific word in your string. So I have put come in double quotation, which I'm going to find. And on line 22, you can find any character by using strchr string function. And in this case, I have put here Z. Let's change it to R, which we have right here. Save this one out, see it in browser now. See, now we have repeated our string 3 times. Now we made our string from 1 point from 5 to 10. So in the string we have stude 4 and n is 5th from 5 to 10. That's why we are showing from nt to who come right here from 5 to 10. Now on the second last statement right here, we have found our word of come, and that has the position of what? It has the position of 12. So if we count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is space, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our come is in 12th position. Now on last line number 22, we have this R. We are finding our character after the word R, and that is here rock. That's why we have here find character of R right here with full word of rock. Now more function of strings. You can find total length of string by using strlen function. Now you can trim your word with your string. So in this case, we are concatenating A with our string of BCD. In case it's going to trim this space from here and put our A with our B, and also put our E with D. So trim is just used to avoid spaces and combine our strings. We have strings A here and string E here and string BCD here. Now by using str and str, you can find any specific word and show the rest after it. Now by using str underscore replace function, you can choose one word, like I'm choosing here sit, and I'm going to replace it with stand. But I'm applying it on our string of combine. That's why I have put it on the third parameter here. So let's save this one out, see it in browser now. See, our total length of string is 52. We successfully trim our spaces that was before B and after D, and we concatenated with A and D. Then we found our specific word or come and show the after text. Then we have the original string of student who come late in class sit in last with rock. We made our string to student who come late in class stand in last with rock, just because of replacing our sit with stand. So these are very simple functions of strings. There are many functions that we are going to learn. This is just a quick intro right here. When we are going to make our project, these functions are going to be used. I know that you are gonna forget at that time, but we will revise it later in case. Actually, there are two types of numbers, integers and floats. Integers numbers are also called real numbers, numbers without any points. However, floats numbers always have point. So if you have a number like 5, then it will be integer number. But if you have a number like 5.300, then it will be float. So in this lecture, we are going to learn about numbers and numbers function deeply. So first, let's create three variables right here. So I have created three variables. First number, second number are integer, and third number is a float value because it has 3 point something value. Now with numbers you can do simple mathematical functions like you can add them, subtract them, multiply them, divide them, whatever you want. Like if I echo right here our third number and add some value in it like +9 and -6, and let's save this one out, see it in browser now. We have this number.php file. See, now we add some integer numbers in floats. So this is just a basic mathematical operation. You can also divide some number with some other number, like if I can divide some point float number with 6. Let's save this one out. See, now we have this value of 0.51 and something. Now let's divide some number with 0. I can divide 7 with 0. Save this one out. See it in browser now. See, now we have error on line 15 because we cannot divide any number with 0. It will give us an error. Now these were just basic mathematical operation that you can do with your numbers. Now I'm going to add some operation on our floating number. You can find ceiling and floor of any number by using number function. For finding ceiling, you just have to type ceil keyword, then you have to pass your number or your variable. In this case, I'm going to pass this third variable inside our ceiling, and in here I'm just going to call ceiling so that we can differentiate in browser. And in case if you want to find some floor of any number, you just have to pass the value of floor, then variable name. In case I'm going to find the value of third number, let's save this one out and now see it in browser. See, now our number of 3.65 has the ceiling of 4 and floor of 3. Now by using number function, you can find some information about some specific number, whether it's an integer number or a float number. So in this case, we have first number and second numbers are integer and this third number is floor. So I'm just going to use the function of isInt, and in the echo statement I'm going to write is our number, which number? Our first number is integer. Now in the last lecture I told you how you can differentiate a variable within the string by putting these curly braces. So in the output you will see actual number 3 on line 19 at the place of first number, not this variable text. Now let's concatenate this string with our function is underscore int. Now we have to pass the variable name. So in this case the variable will be that we are going to check first number. Now let's copy this one out from here and paste it right after it. Now let's change it for third number. So we already know that first number is integer and third number is not an integer, it's a float value. So let's save this one out, see it in browser now. So is 3 integer? It means 1. 1 means that it's true, 3 is integer. And in case if you don't have any one after your function output, then it means that it's false. So in this case we are calling is 3.65478 is integer. There is nothing means there is 0. That's why this one is false and this one has value of 1. It means that it's true. You can also find in another sense by just copying these statement from here. We can change this function for float by just putting instead of int float here. Changing this for float. Save this one out, refreshing the page. See, now we have is 3 float. No, it's not. That's why there is hidden 0. And is 3.65478 is float 1. 1 means yes, it is float. So like integer and floating value, you can also find out a numeric value whether it's not numeric or numeric. So let's change this for numeric. Changing the function is numeric. You should have to be careful while calling the function, because if you write capital N here, then your function will not going to be run. So you should keep in mind that PHP is case sensitive language. Save this one out, refreshing the page. Is 3 is a numeric? Yeah, we know. And 3.65 is numeric? Yes, it's also a numeric. That's why 1 on those statement of numeric has right here. Now there are also some simple functions of numbers. You can convert your decimal number into a binary and binary into a decimal. You can take square root. You can find absolute value. You can find power of any number. You can find modulus. You can find anything you want by using numbers. So first, let's convert one simple decimal number into binary. For that you have to mention bin. Inside this you have to pass your number. I'm going to pass number of 3. Let's close this one out, save this one out and see it in browser, refreshing the page. Now we converted our 3 into binary and that is 1 1. We can also convert it in back by just calling one function of bin des, and we can give it its binary of 1 1. Saving the file, refreshing the page. See, now we have 3. So in first step we converted our 3 into binary and then we converted our bin, means our binary, into decimal. Now you can also find square root of any number by sqrt. I'm going to find square root of 8. You can find absolute value between two numbers by calling abs function, and you have to give it two values for finding absolute value. I'm gonna give it minus 50 and plus 100. You can find power of any number by calling function of pow. You can find modulus of any number. Actually, modulus is a reminder. When you divide 7 with 6, then you will have remainder of 1. And if you divide 14 with 7, then you will have remainder of nothing. So I'm going to call here fmod function, and inside this I'm going to divide 15 by 7. So what remainder we will have? We will have the remainder of 1. So 7 ones are 7, 7 twos is 14, and reminder 1. You can pick any random number. It's also very important in JavaScript and PHP to pick your random number, because sometimes when you are dealing with your users, you have to assign him some random username or random password. For that, you can just call function of rand and pass it empty parameter, so the computer will pick up the random number by itself. But if you want to pick the random number by yourself, then you have to give it two values. These values will be its ranges. Means the computer is bound to pick from 500 to 1600 numbers. Now let's save this one out. Before checking it in browser, let's put some text so that you can understand these functions. So we are done. But before going to browser, let's correct one syntax of power and modulus from here. So I want to find the power of 2 by 10. So 2 here, then comma, and then 10. This is the right syntax. And then for finding modulus, I have to put comma in here too. Let's save this one out. See it in browser now. See, now we have our binary of 11, then we converted our binary into decimal of 3. We have this exact square root, we have absolute value, we have the power, we have modulus 15 divided by 7, we have remainder of 1. We have this random number, we have random number from 500 to 1600, and it's 822. If we refresh the page or just look on this second line, it's going to change every time. See, this is the power of using random function with numbers. Now before we finish this lecture, there are some simple steps that I want to clarify right now. You can see we have this second number is equal to 4. So if I echo here our second number is equal to second number plus 2. Let's see it in browser first. Save this one out. We have 6 right here. Now if I remove this dollar second number from here and put this plus before equal sign, then what will be the output? The output will be the same. Let's save this one out. See it in browser. There is nothing change in our 6. Now you can also do increment and decrement with your numbers. You can add one by adding 2 plus plus sign for increment. Let's echo this one out. Now for decrement, let's copy this one out from here, paste it right after it, and for decrement let's change it for minus minus. Save this one out, see it in browser now. See, we have increment of 7, we have decrement of 6. So there are many things that you can do with your numbers by using number function, but I think that's it for now. Arrays are the backbone in every programming languages due to their wider role and usage. That's why it's essential in PHP to learn arrays and arrays functions. So first we are going to learn about arrays. What are arrays? Arrays is a data type by using you can easily add large amount of data according to their indexes. So like you have boxes and you label them with some numbers. So your box will be a data and your label will be index. So arrays work on two things, index and data. You can more simplify this example by considering your roll number in college. So mine was 34 and my name was Jazeb, and there was this other guy Ali whose roll number was 35 and his name was Ali. There were also some other guys with different roll number and with different name. So their roll numbers are indexes and their names are the data. So by having the roll number, you can easily find out the respective person. So now let's see the array index. It's very simple. Now I'm going to create one array of name, and first I have created one variable. Now I have to equal it with our keyword of array, and in which I'm going to add different items and names. For adding some character or string, I have to quote it in single quotation or maybe double quotation. So now I'm going to add name, my name, Jazeb, and the next item I'm going to add in the same array of name will be Ali, then Akram in single quote as well. So I have created one simple array of name. Now Jazeb has the default roll number of 0, Ali has the default roll number of 1, and Akram has the default roll number of 2. And one more thing to remember, array indexes are always start by default with 0. So Jazeb has 0, that's why. So if I echo our array of name and the index of 1, so who's on 1? Ali is on 1 because Jazeb is on 0 index, Ali is on 1 index, and Akram is on 2 index. So let's save this one out. I have this file of arrays.php, saving the file, calling our new files of arrays.php. See, now we have Ali. So if we change this name to 0, then we will have Jazeb. If we change it for Akram, so we have to type 2 right here. So that's how arrays work. So you can add many things in your array as you want. You can add numbers, you can add data, characters, whatever you want. So now I'm going to create one more array of food, in which I'm going to add some numbers and data as well. So first I'm going to add pizza, then I'm going to add simple number, then one more number, then I'm going to add array within an array, and inside this array I'm going to add couple of items in single quote or maybe double quote, whatever you want. So I have created one array, and within that array I have created one more array of some Korean, Asian, French and German, and at last in the array of food I put this pasta right here. So you can access any of the member of this array you want. I can access this 15 first. For that I just have to echo our array name, and that was food, and I want to show first this 15. So this one is at index of 0, 1 and 2. So if I want to show this German, so it means that it has the index of pizza 0, 10, 1, 15, 2, and then we have the index of whole what? We have the index of 3. So I have to mention in my echo statement first 3, and in the third member of this array I'm going to call this German, and this German is at the index of 2 within this new array. 0 Asian, French 1 and German is 2. So I have to mention 2 right here. Now let's save this one out and see it in browser now. See, now we have first 15, and then by 3 and 2 we had German in our browser. So this is the way you can add items in your array in a sequence index. But what if you want to add some item at some certain place? You can do that easily by just giving some specific index to some specific item. So here I am going to give one new index of anything I want. I can give it 56 index to our new item of mango. I can give 300 index to apple. Now let's save this one out. Now if you want to see the structure of this whole array of food, you can do that by simply using print r function in your echo statement. It's going to show you structure of your array. So echo print dash r, then you have to pass what your array name, and that was food. Closing of this function. Let's save this one out and see it in browser now. Now here we have the structure of our array. So if I close this print r into our pre tag, then you will see the structure more clearly. See, now we have our first array in which we have pizza, 10, 15, and at the third index we have new array in which we have Asian, French, German, and then we have the last item pasta. Then we have added two more item at index of 56 mango and at index of 300 apple. Now this was just simple array. We also have one more array type, that is associative type, that work on key and value, in which you are not bound with integer or number index. You can define even character index as well, calling it as a key. So let's clear these things from here on the screen. So now I'm going to create one associative array with the name of color. Now we have to define our key and value. So now I'm going to define one key value and I'm going to call it A, and for giving it some value, first I have to use this equal sign, then this arrow. We need to make this arrow to define that A is a key and this key has some specific value, and I'm going to give it value of 40 in string, whatever I want. For giving it more value, I can give one more key with the name of B, and I'm going to give it value of pizza here. So now if I want to access this 40 value, I can just simply call our first array name, and that was color, and then I have to mention the simple key right here. Now let's echo this one out, or let's save this one out, refreshing the page. See, now we have 40 here. So if we change this A to B, then we will have pizza in our browser. See, so this is called associative array. They are always very helpful while coding PHP. You can also do concatenation with associative array simply. So now let me create one array here of food. So I have created this simple array of food in which I have two keys, Asian and Italian, and two values, pizza and biryani. Now let's concatenate it by just echoing first our array name, then we have to mention our key as well. Now let's concatenate it with this string first and then with this second key. Now let's save this one out, see it in browser. See, now we have pizza is for biryani. Now it's picking up the key and giving us values of Italian, that was biryani, and for Asian, that was pizza. We can also see the structure of these associative array that we just created by just echoing what? We have to echo our function of print underscore r by seeing the structure of this array of food. Now let's put pre-tag so that we can see it properly. See, now we have this associative array in which it's also indicating our key and value, Italian and then biryani. So this is just a quick intro to our arrays and associative arrays. By using keys and values, you can put as many as value as you want. So in the next lecture, we are going to learn about arrays function. Arrays functions are very easy and quite a fun. So I have this array of color red, green and blue. This is simple array. So you can pop things out from this array by just calling simple array function of pop. It's very easy. You just have to mention the function name, and that is array pop. Then you have to pass the name of this array. So I have pop one item from this array. So let's here see the structure of this array of color. So we have this file of arrays functions. See, we picked one color of blue from here. So if I add one more time this function of array pop, then you will see this green will also going to be popped from this array. See? Now, like this pop, you can also push items into your array. For that, just remove this pop from here and write push in our color array with new item of black and white and pink also. Let's save this one out. We also have this print R right here. See, now we have red, green, black, white and pink. I forgot to add quotation right here. Now let's refreshing the page. Everything is perfect. So like pop and push, you can also find out total number of elements in our array. For that, first let's create one simple numbers array, and I'm going to call it numbers, in which I'm gonna add some random number. So I have added some numbers in our array. Now you can count the total number of this array by just calling some simple function of count. Count what? Count total numbers in our array. Now let's see. See, now we have total 9 numbers in our array. You can find maximum and minimum value as well. By using the keyword of max and minimum, min. Save this one out, see it in browser now. We have maximum 1000 and minimum 6 in our array. You can find some specific number in your array by just calling simple function of is. Our array has some number. In that case, I'm going to find this 89. See, yes, we have 1. 1 means yes. We have 89 number in our array. We can simply sort our array by using sort function. So if we see the structure of our array, see, we have sorted our array 1000 at last and 6 at the index of 0. You can resort it by just putting one R before your function to resort it. So let's see the structure again. See, now we resort it. Now it's starting from 1000 and ending at 6. Now in this lecture there are two more functions are left. One is implode function and other one is explode function. First we are going to do implode function. What is implode function? Actually implode function is used to return a string from the elements of an array. So if we have array of this quote of never give up in life, this is simple array. By using implode function, if we just simply call echo statement with implode function, remember there are two things in implode function. First one is one string, you can leave it empty string with space, and the next part will be the array name, and in case that is quote. So this implode function is going to take every element of this array and convert it in a complete sentence. Now let's save this one out and see it in browser now. See, now we converted our array elements into a complete sentence. Now if you want to convert it back into elements, then you just have to use one simple function of explode. So this explode functions break a string into an array. So I'm going to give it simple string to our explode function. So I give it this simple string to this variable of code. And now by using explode right here, I'm just gonna break this string into arrays element. Let's save this one out, see it in browser now. See, there is an error on the screen because we cannot do string conversion. This is just because of we are doing string conversion. So if you want to see the structure, you can see the structure, but you cannot do string conversion. You cannot take a string and convert it in an array. So by using explode function, what you can do, you can just simply take the string and convert it in arrays elements without echoing it on your browser. So instead of echo, you can use print -r, and inside this I'm gonna put our explode function. So let's remove it from here and put it right after it, our print r function of explode. Let's save this one out and see it in browser now. See, now we converted our this string never give up in life into again structure of array. So never is at 0, give at 1, up at 2, in at 3, and life at 4. So this is the way you can implode simple array into string and explode one simple string into array structure. Hi, in this lecture we are going to learn about conditional statements, means if statement. They are very helpful and we use it in programming and in our real life all the times. Think of only those people who are allowed to work out in a gym whose ages are greater than 18. So we have defined one condition of age. If a person has greater age than 18, then he would be allowed to work out in a gym. Or you can think of only those students are allowed to watch cartoon who finish their homework. So we are gonna say that if a student finished his homework, then he can watch cartoons. So this phrase, if a student finish his homework, will be our condition, and this phrase, then he can watch cartoons, will be our echo statement. So now let's create if statements so that you can see its syntax and how it works. So let me create one variable of weather right here, and I'm going to equal it for one string of sunny, and let's add one if statement here, and I'm gonna say if our weather is equal to sunny, then you can say echo weather is pleasant. Now let's save this one out, and we know that our weather is equal to sunny, so in the browser we will see the result of weather is pleasant. Let's put it in the PHP scope. Let's save this one out and see it in browser now. We have this file of if statements. See, now we have weather is pleasant. So if I change it to sunny L, then we will not have weather is pleasant because it's not satisfying our condition in the editor. So I can say if weather is sunny, then print on the browser weather is pleasant, and else you can say in the parenthesis echo it's not pleasant. So we have this sunny L. Now let's save this one out. So in the browser we will have it's not pleasant. So this is basic if statement and else. Instead of adding one else statement, you can add if statement one more time. So I can say if weather is not equal to sunny, for not, let's use this sign, this one is for not, then you can say it's not pleasant. See, now we have the same result. You can add one more time if statement as you want, but instead of adding if statements multiple times, we have else if structure for adding multiple conditions. So I can say if weather is equal to sunny, weather is pleasant, and else if weather is not equal to sunny, it's not pleasant. So let's change it to sunny to rainy, and now let's add one more else if statement. I can say if else if weather is equal to cloudy, then you can say cloud pleasant, and if it's raining, then you can say it's raining. See, now we have weather sunny, weather rainy, and weather cloudy. So in the basic assignment of weather variable, if I change it to sunny, then we will have the result of weather is pleasant. If I change it to rainy, then we will have this result, and if I change it to cloudy, then we will have this result. So in case if we don't have any of the scenario from sunny, rainy and cloudy, then we will add simply one else statement in which we can add simple one echo statement in which we will say that it's hard to forecast weather. Let's save this one out. So we will have the rainy in our browser. Let's see it's raining. So if we change rainy to sun, we know that we don't have any condition for sun, so we will have this it's hard to forecast weather in our browser. Let's save this one out and see it in browser. See, now we have it's hard to forecast weather. So if statements are very handy to check out the condition. You can more think of it as a customer bought a product from your website, and if his payment processed, then you can say that thank you, we are going to dispatch your product, and else you can say that please wait, your payment is in process, so we will dispatch your product after having your payment. So this is also the one real time scenario. So let's implement this scenario in here. So let's add one simple variable right here, and I'm gonna call this variable bought product is equal to true. And I told you before that true and false are the booleans. True means 1 and false means 0, and also true means yes. So I am saying here that if bought product yes, then you can define one if statement right here, and inside here you can say if bought product is equal to true, if bought product is yes means it's true, then you can give one simple message to your user. You can say that thank you. So if bought product is equal to true, then you can say to the user, thank you, your product will be dispatched soon. And in case if it doesn't, then you can simply print out one statement of else, in which you can say please wait, your payment is in processing. So this one is one real web scenario. So let's save this one out and add one HR tag before it so that you can see it properly. So we know that our product is bought, means it's yes. Now let's refresh the page. See, now we have thank you, your product will be dispatched soon. So if I change this true to false, then you will see the other scenario. Refreshing the page, please wait, your payment is in processing. So this is real-time example of using if statement in our website. Now before we end this lecture of if statement, I want to share one more thing with you, and that is your inside statements in the parentheses. These two statements will only going to run when your condition of if statement true, and if it's not true, then your statement within the parentheses of if scope will not going to run. For that, let's create one more simple scenario. Let's add three variables. A is equal to 4, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to 1 string. So I can say that if B is greater than 0, then you should do one mathematical operation, and that is if B is greater than 0, then C is equal to A divided by B, and we can simply echo it outside of our if statement so that we can see the result. See, now we know that our B is not equal to 0, so this is going to be processed. So let's save this and see it in browser and add HR tag for seeing the line. Now let's correct this ending PHP tag. Let's save this one out. See, now we have two results in our browser. So if I change this 2 to 0, let's save this, then we will have this C cannot be out. So means this code on line 35 will not going to be processed in the first place. See, cannot be out. So in case if our statement is true, then this one is going to work. If it's false, then it will jump back outside of the parentheses of if statement and print our general C, and that was result cannot be out. Here you can modify this condition of if statement more. So I can say if B is less than 5, and for using AND operator we need 2 times this sign, A greater than 0. So we are just redefining our condition. So let's make this B to 3 here. So everything is perfect. According to our condition, B should be greater than less than 5, and it is less than 5. and our a is greater than 0 and its 4 means greater than 0. So we will have some actual result on our screen. So let's save this one out and see it in browser now. See, now we have our result of 1.33 something here. So the thing that you have to be remember here before ending of this lecture should be, if your statement, your condition of if statement is true, then your code within the parentheses of if statement is going to work, else it's not going to work. So this is the quick and real-time intro of if statements using PHP. This lecture will focus on the operators in programming languages, and also you will learn about operators in PHP. Now before digging in, there are three basic concepts. First one is brackets, and you can see the symbol of brackets. Then we have the parentheses. This is the symbol of parentheses. Then we have curly braces. All of them are different and used for different purposes. So for a demo, we use brackets while writing arrays. We use parentheses while writing functions and conditions. We use curly braces while writing the statement for the if condition and for loop. So like in mathematics, the operator precedence is also matter in PHP. Parentheses got higher precedence than multiply and division, and multiply and division got the higher precedence on plus and minus. Now here are some operators. First we got assignment operator, which we use to assign value into variable or constant. After that we got equality operator, which we use in writing conditions. Then we got strictly equal operator, and we use it when we have to be certain according to strict condition. Then we got not equal operator, then we got not operator, then less than or equal to, then greater than or equal to. Now here are some comparison operator in real environment. So you can use the equality operator in your if condition. You can also use not equal in your if condition. You can see the strictly equal operator in your if condition when you have to make sure whether one thing is strictly equal to other thing or not. You can also use greater than, less than, greater than equal to, or less than or equal to operator in your if condition. Then we got the logical operators. We have two logical operators. First one is AND operator, which only work when the two conditions are true. So if A is equal to B and C is equal to D, then we are going to process the if condition. And for the notation of AND operator, we use double AND sign. You can see it on the red color. Then we have OR operator. It's also the logical operator. So we use OR operator when we have to choose one thing between two. So we can say that if A is equal to B or C is equal to D, then you should process this code. Means we are going to process the statements of our if condition in case if any of the scenario is true, if it is A is equal to B or C is equal to D. And the notation of this OR operator is the pipe symbol. You can also see it in the red color. Now the precedence for the operator is also do matter. So first of all, if you apply the precedence, then the inner parentheses are going to execute first. First, this green precedence A is equal to B and C is equal to D is going to process. Then this whole yellow is going to be processed. So first we will run this individually, then we will come to this AND operator to see the whole result. Now we got the modulus operator. Modulus operator is bit more simple. For example, if you have a variable and you want to get the remainder, then you can use the modulus operator. And modulus operator represented by percentage sign. So modulus operator is going to give you the remainder. We have increment and decrement. For example, if you want to add some value in your variable of a, you can add it simply by adding +1 in it, or you can write it one more way by using a plus is equal to 1. It also the same as a is equal to a plus 1. No difference at all. Then you can do prefix and postfix of increment in your variable also. We will see it in a moment. The decrement is also the same but with the negative value to decrease the value, and increment is for increasing the value. Now in the increment and decrement process, first of all let's see this prefix. For example, you have variable a is equal to 5, and if you echo plus plus your variable of a, then the output will be the 6, because you can think of first plus as 1, so it's going to add in our variable of $a, so the result will be 6. Now in case if you do one more time echo, then your resultant will be 7. So this is prefix increment. Now in the postfix increment, for example, you have the same variable of a is equal to 5, and if you do postfix increment means put 2 plus signs right after your variable, then on the first resultant the result will be the same as what you got before. Then if you do one more echo, your resultant will be 6. So in prefix we add the 1 while starting our process. However, in the postfix we start the increment process in the second stage. That's why you can feel the difference by looking at the slide. Now we also have the ternary operator. For example, in case if you have two variable a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 15, and if I ask you tell me which variable is greater than the other, then you can simply write one if condition. If a greater than b, then you should process this block of code and say that a is greater than b in the resultant result variable, or else you can say that b is greater than a. Now this whole if condition is quite large. Now by using the ternary operator you can decrease your statements. So first of all, in the ternary operator you will write your variable of result in which you are going to save your result. Then you can say that result is equal to $a greater than $b. Then question mark will represent your if condition, and if a is greater than b, then you should say that a is greater than b, or else the else code will be after the colon b is greater than a. It's same like the if condition, but you can write it in one line. So these are the famous operators in PHP which you will see all the times while writing and learning about PHP. Now what if you want to show something to the user more than once? You can do that by using echo statement like I have wrote 6 statements of echo showing the counting. Now let's move to our browser, refreshing the page of forloops.php file. Now I have counting of 1 to 6. So in term of short version, you can use simple echo statement. But what if you have 6,000 statements to show to the user instead of just 6 statement? You cannot accomplish that with echo statement. You need something else, and that's the time when you have to use for loops. So for loops are very handy when it comes to show something to the user over and over until your desire meets. You can show 1,000 or maybe 1 lakh numbers to the user by using just two statements of PHP. One is for loop and other one is for using echo statement. So loops are very handy when you want to show user large amount of data using just couple of statements. So in this lecture we are going to learn about for loops. Now removing these echo statement from here. Now first, for using for loop we need some initial value. First you have to write for keyword, then the parenthesis for loop, and inside this we are going to add three things. First one is initial step, second one is condition, and third one is our increment. So in this case I'm going to add one initial step in which I'm gonna define one variable of I, and for now initial value will be 1, then semicolon, and after that I have to define condition up to what number my for loop work. So first I made I is equal to 1. Now I have to define condition, means the ending value where our loop is going to be end. So I want to show first 10 numbers, that's why I'm giving it condition O loop run from 1 to 10. Then I have to do increment so that after every single step our value should add 1 in itself. Now be careful with the semicolon right here. Now in the curly braces of for loop you can add any kind of statement that you want to show to the user as many as time you want. So I'm gonna write echo 1 string is printing on screen, and here I'm gonna use the value of I which I define on this loop. So our user will be able to see 10 times is printing on screen, and with every time he is going to see counting from 1 to 10. Let's see it in browser now. Now let's save this and see it in browser now. For loops.php file. See, now we have 1 is printing on screen and it's from 1 to 10. So we just write one echo statement, and by using for loops we can print as many as statements as we want. So if you add 1000 here, then your for loop is going to work for 1000 times. See? And if you add some condition like here, like if I is equal to 1 and I is greater than and equal to 0, then our loop will be limitless, means it will going to run for infinite time. So you should have this thinking in your mind while designing your for loop, that it should be within limits. Otherwise browsers will be able to show user infinite time echo statement. So if I refresh this page, then you will see that browser is keep spinning and my laptop processor is working very hard because the value that we are printing is infinite. See, 8,000, 11,000, then we have 29,000. So you should be careful while defining your condition. Now you can play and work with for loop as you want. So now let's create table of 2 by using for loop. So first we need to define one number for which we want to get the table. So I defined this number of n and I'm gonna give it value of 2. And now let's define our for loop here. So we need one more variable that will be iterative variable that's gonna help us to define loop. So in this case, if I is equal to 1 and I less than is equal to 10 and I plus plus, so that our loop will be iterative for 10 times. Then inside here, I'm gonna define one more variable of result, and let's call our table function, and in this case we have to multiply our number of 2 with our I so that we can have the table on our screen. So let's multiply it with our loop. Now in the echo statement, first I'm gonna show user this number, then by using concatenation inside string I'm gonna show our static to the user, then I'm gonna concatenate it with our I, this loop I. So first time it will be 1, then second time it will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 and 10. Then I'm gonna concatenate it with our string equal sign, then we have to concatenate it with our variable of result and br tag at the end. See, by using this simple formula, I'm gonna print table of 2 on our browser. So let's add one HR tag here. Now refreshing the page. See, now we have our table from 2 to 20. So if I want to run our table up to 20, then I just have to increase the condition value to 20, saving this one out. See, now we have our table up to 20. So you can increase it or decrease it or change the value to have the desired result of your will. While loop do same kind of thing as our for loops. The only difference is between the structure of these two loops. So in while loop, we divide our initial value, our condition and our increment at different lines. So first we have to define the initial value outside the parentheses of our while loop. So if I define here one new variable of p as our initial value, and I'm gonna give it value of 1, and if I have to call our while loop, so inside the while loop parentheses I just have to mention its condition, not the increment, not the initial value, just condition. So I can say if our while loop variable p is less than or equal to 15, then you should echo one statement, and that statement is jazebakram.com, and after echoing it I just have to put increment so that we can have jazebakram.com on our screen for 15 times. So this is the structure of while loop. So let's save this one out. Back to Google Chrome, localhost, and in our localhost we have this new file of whileloops.php. See, now we have jazebakram.com. So let's add br tag here. Refreshing the page again. See, now we have jazebakram.com for 15 times in our browser. So the only difference is between the structure of for loop and while loop, because in the for loop we have initial value, our condition and our increment at the same line, while in the while loop we have these three things at different places. Our initial condition is outside of while loop, our condition is in the parentheses of while loop, while our increment at the end of our statement, means our echo statement. So this is while loop. Hi, it's your instructor Jazeb Akram. Congratulations, you have finished successfully 2 hours of content out of 19 hours of complete PHP content. Now everything which I told you at the beginning of this course, that we are going to build these projects from scratch after learning PHP, is completely holds now. But as I cannot add my whole content on YouTube because I don't take YouTube royalties. The reason is sometimes it's very disturbing for student to see the ads while learning something. And I always find YouTube ads very irritating while watching video. That's why I disabled the option of ads in all of my YouTube videos. You will not find any type of ad in my YouTube video. So if you want me to make this similar type of content, you have to support me because I cannot do it all on my own. You have to support your instructor. So as you have finished 2 hours of content, now right in the description of this video you will see one link. If you click on this link, it will redirect you to the page where you will find the whole course of this complete PHP professional course. And also you will find 94% off on this course if you follow this link right in the description of this video. And I don't think that $12 is very high price. You can use PayPal, debit card or credit card to pay for this course. And also in the description you can see that this is 19-hour course. You will have the certificate on completion of this course. You can add that certificate in your resume. You can show it to any software house that you have attended the fully PHP workshop. You can also use this coupon code of YouTube 50. This coupon code will give you 94% off. Now let me tell you more things because you are coming from the YouTube. As you have already finished couple of lectures from the beginnings. You have finished this first section of course promo video. You have also finished this section of building blocks of PHP. You have seen all of these videos from the YouTube. And in the next section of coding exercises of course, just watch this video and follow this instruction to have all the coding exercises of 19-hour content. Now in the next section of building blocks of PHP continue, you will see that the lecture of while loop. You have already learned the content up to this lecture of while loop. So now if you are coming from the YouTube, you can directly start from the lecture of for each loop and learn all about which I showed you in the promo video, and we will complete this course by building project. Then you can see we got couple of more section of this course. Then we got project section starting from super global post variable. So I know you will help your instructor out by making a little bit of contribution to this course and also for yourself. And also you can find the coupon codes on my website of jazebakram.com. If you click on the course coupon tab, where you will find all the coupons of my courses here on this jazebakram.com/coupon tab. So I will see you inside this course right after this while loop lecture. So let's start this for each loop lecture now. And for starting this lecture, you have to click the link in the description of this video which you are watching right now. So without wasting any time, click on this link and I will see you inside this complete course in which we will build all the projects in PHP from scratch. So click on this link.